Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz, look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. On today's conversation, I bring up the question to you all: would you reject $26 million? Would you reject $26 million? So I want to hear. Well, it depends what I got. What I got? No. The question is, would you reject if you were offered $26 million? Would you reject $26 million? We're gonna talk about it later on the show. Also, parental discipline. Everybody has a different way of disciplining their children nowadays. And look, now I'm not a parent. I'm a parent of a dog. Okay. But I know there's a bunch of folks that do not believe in spanking their children. I mean, to them, they think that's child abuse. To some people, they're like, hey, look, one little pop on the booty, they learn their lesson and the rest is history. Because, let's be real. We live in a world where kids run their parents. They do what they want to do. They could care less what, their parents did not have the power over them and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about that. Also, Democratic representative could be facing, could be getting expelled due to, well, for one, pleading guilty on a number of house ethics violations. We'll talk about that later on the show. And remember, Michael Lindell, my pillow guy, this man stays getting L's. Let me tell you something. Stays losing. Lord have mercy. He was recently at the CPAC event, and while getting interviewed, while on TV, he was served with some papers, served with the lawsuit. I'm like, wow, embarrassing. First of all, these folks that be serving people with lawsuits, man, they be petty. Like, they don't care where you at. You can be a surgeon doing a brain surgery. They'll be like, are you Dr. Such? You've been served. They could be preaching mid-sermon. Pastor, you've been served. I mean, it is intense out here in these streets. And we're going to talk also about our late night talk shows too political. I bring this up because, yes, we are witnessing the end of an era on CBS. The late night with Stephen Colbert has been canceled. We've seen Jimmy Kimmel suspended at one point, and it wasn't sure if he was coming back. There's a pattern of late night hosts, late night comedians that lean one way of the aisle, right? And they use that in their comedy. And so we gonna talk about it today on the show because actor Vince Vaughn is not a fan of it. He's not. So we're going to talk about that too and more here on the show. As always, family, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. As you know, we drop new episodes weeknights, Monday through Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts, whether that's iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, just to name a few. You can also listen to us on the radio airwave. Shout out to our affiliates, WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk out in the Metro Atlanta area. You can listen into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, that's on WDJY 99.1 FM. And then we also are heard in the New Orleans area by way of WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time. And then we can forget one of our favorite affiliates, KSHP 1400 AM and 107.1 FM Las Vegas. I love Las Vegas, man. I really do. And I don't even gamble like that, man. I just enjoy the atmosphere. You can listen into the Arrington Gavin Show Fridays at 8 p.m. Pacific time on KSHP 1400 AM and 107.1 FM. And also, you can watch past episodes of the Arrington Gavin Show on the Goatverse TV app. If you have not downloaded the app yet, please do so. It's available on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV. So, multiple ways you can support and follow up on the show and watch us and all that good stuff. Do me a favor too, for those who are watching and those who are listening, subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Arrington Gavin Show YouTube channel. We have a goal to hit 5,000 by the end of this year, 5,000 subscribers. And if you can do so, yeah, like, share with a friend, share with family, give us a thumbs up. It helps with our algorithm. I truly appreciate it. Boy, how do I start this show here, man? I had a day. I did a thing today. I did something new. So I have a good friend of mine who works with the one of the with the YMCA. She works at the with the YMCA corporate, and my wife and we had signed up to volunteer at one of the local events here in our home area, and we signed up to volunteer at a uh wrestling, like amateur wrestling event, which is, it's a massive, I think all for high school. It's like one of the, like, just the major tournaments that they were having, and it's a 3-day event. I said, hey, look, let me do the morning shift on the first day. Let me get out the way because the way your boy schedule is going, I'm like, let me, and I'm still recovering from my stomach bug. I don't know if I told y'all, I have been under the weather for a few days, just with a mean stomach bug. Oh my gosh, man. I did not know if I was gonna make it, man. When I tell you lava coming out of both ends, yeah, TMI, but we cool, right? We cool. Lava out of both ends, nonstop. It was torture. I barely could eat anything, and I'm like, "Where's all this stuff coming from? I haven't put any food." Fast forward, I'm still recovering from that. Anyway, donating my time, at this event, and I was unaware of what we were going to be doing. Then I find out that I'm going to be working the scoreboard. I'm like, great, a sport that I really don't know anything about, and I'm working the scoreboard. Awesome. And look, the organization provided us with like a tutorial video and a sheet, like a cheat sheet of how the signal calling and stuff like that. And look, did your boy really read through it? I skimmed through it, and I'm like, well, look, I'm just going, if I could just sit with somebody that know the sport, I'm good. How bad could it be? So started the morning off. I was I was sharing a table with a person, and most likely what I was going to do is just be the timekeeper, be like, hey, look, time. And then they called me over to another table by myself. Oh my goodness, it was embarrassing. I'm like over here trying to control this, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Bear with me, parents, because you got those intense, sports parents that are like, we done traveled all the way here from Massachusetts, and what is going on here? And then you got the referees that's, I've been doing this for 50 years, and all this new technology. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why are they doing this? And it was just back and forth. And I'm like, look here, be patient with me, because I don't know the sport, and I'm trying to, and great. I was grateful that they were patient, and I'm grateful for the refs, because the refs was also helping me out, continue to keep me up to speed on how the sport is operated, how to play call, and all that good stuff. So it was great. It was an experience. Would I do it again? Maybe, but I really would want to do it when I'm extremely familiar with the sport and comfortable, because like I said, it gets intense. Especially if you don't know what the hell you're doing. It was a lot. Um, have y'all ever been to a amateur wrestling event? Because they had men's and women's, and it was like I said, it was intense. It was thousands of people there, all from, I mean, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont. I mean, everywhere, man. And I mean, these for all age groups too, all different weight classes. First of all, just looking at these, youngsters, 135 pounds, all muscle. I'm like, first of all, I need to do better with my life because see, I'm like 200, all gut, 200, all guts. I wish I could take pieces out of the gut and spread it out my body, and then I'll look like a Sterling K. Brown. But instead, I'm over here looking like a retired rapper, a retired one hit wonder heartthrob, R&B singer or something. Like I got the body of uh, a '90s R&B sensation, and it ain't pretty right now. Got to work on it. Got to work on it. Um, but yeah, so we had that going on. What else? What else do we have? We had that, and also too. Excuse me. Also too, to kind of get you familiar with my hometown, and maybe this happens to you in your home area as well, where our weather changes multiple times in a day. Okay, so this morning it was warm. I'm talking like, well, actually, I take it. It was slightly cool. It might have been like say 67 degrees. Okay. Later on in the day, it was like 79 degrees. Okay, warm, comfortable. And then 3-4 hours pass. Once it gets to like 7 p.m., 8 p.m., it's cold. It's ice cold outside. We go through so much season changes in one day here in the Hampton Roads area. It's a lot. I always say I recommend bringing extra clothes in your car because you're gonna think you can. Oh, I'm gonna go out looking cute today. Nope, you thought wrong. You thought wrong. But enough of my spiel here. Look, I want to share this recent study that I had read on, which I thought was quite interesting. You know how I enjoy reading these certain studies. This one says here people no longer believe working hard would lead to a better life. What? What? I mean, I can kind of see that because when you work extremely hard, then working hard leads to stress. Working hard leads sometimes you never really getting vacations. Working really hard can just you make you just focus on work and that's it. I mean, look, being married to your work is not always the healthiest, but I still believe that, hard work does pay off in the long run. Laziness doesn't pay off, right? Not putting an effort to anything does not pay off. Uh, this is a Pew Research Center says here public confidence in the idea that hard work guarantees success has declined in recent years. Economic pressures, rising living costs, okay, and limited upward mobility have led many people to question whether effort alone is enough to achieve a better life. Look, they make perfect sense because there's so many folks that look, the retirement age continues to raise. Like I think at first retirement was what, 64, 67? Now it's 72. I mean, who wants to work 70 years and then, live their final years? So you want to make sure you live it up every single day. Live every day like it's your last. That's how I love to cherish my days. I want to have as much fun. I want to, I want to do all I can before I leave this earth. And so I always feel like it's sad when I see folks that, yeah, but I just retired. I'm 80. Whoa, 80? What are you gonna do with yourself? I mean, like so many there's people that actually enjoys working and and tries not to they try not to stop doing what they're doing because they just think sometimes when you stop that's where all the sicknesses and the illness starts popping up. Survey shows that young generations in particular are more skeptical of traditional success narratives, wage stagnations, housing affordability issues, and increasing debt burdens have contributed to shift in perception. Now, the changing outlook reflects a broader reevaluation of opportunity in modern society, where outcomes are increasingly seen as influenced by structural factors beyond individual effort. Again, you have younger folks looking at the older generation, some of them that are still working. I mean, come on, we've how many times have we seen senior citizens door dashing, and they're like, why you're 80 something, why are you here door? And you hear about these sad stories that that happens to really a number of people at that age, and it's like younger people are saying, is this what I'm working towards? Is this what I'm working hard towards? Look, I'm in school, I'm working hard, I'm busting my tail. Now I got $200,000 in student debt, right? I'm still trying to find my dream job. Like, is this what working hard takes me to? Like, I've gotten all the degrees needed, and I'm still like, it's just there's so many reasons people always will overthink things and say, or second guess and be like, is this really worth it? Is it really worth it? And I get it, but I would just word of advice, continue to work hard, because at the end of the day, a position that that you are working to get, you have to compete with other people. And if that person works harder than you, guess what? You're not getting that job. You have to continue to work hard, because you're competing not just with other people, but you're competing with yourself. You continue to work hard, and best believe it will pay off in the long run. All right, my friends, I've talked enough. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break here. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We will be right back after this.
What's up, y'all? Welcome now.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up. Yeah, that's that new Goat Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of the app he said?
Introducing Goatverse TV.
Goatverse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Let me tell you something most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
All right, family, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. All right, let's start off with this. Now, you already know how irritated I am when I see the increase in pricing in everything, right? We've all have seen it. We've seen gas prices sky high. Hell, I had to get some gas today, and I think what premium was like $4.49, something like that. Yeah, it was pretty pricey. But that's not all that's expensive. Uh uh certain certain grocery bills are expensive. Certain expenses, housing expenses, everything is just increasing. But guess what else? Look, couldn't get any worse than this, but it has. Netflix has announced that they are going to be raising their prices yet again, and I'm like, come on, man. Look, I'm already most likely going to be uh I'm waiting to see how Paramount and HBO Max, how this goes out, because my wife just told me that we ended our Paramount subscription. I was like, no, I'm watching Beyond the Gates. What about Tulsa King? What about my show? So I'm like, okay, I want to get Paramount, right? So I can continue watching the shows that I was watching. But with these mergers of Warner Brothers and Paramount, I'm like, all right, if HBO Max, which I have, if it merges with Paramount, or if Paramount could just go, like, I'm just waiting. But anyways, I love Netflix. Netflix, again, for me, is number one out of all of them. It's the granddaddy of them all when it comes to streaming platforms. Netflix. I love Netflix. The fact that they're increasing their price, I'm like, wow, Netflix, like, wow. Like, we couldn't talk about this first. We couldn't talk about this. So check this out.
Netflix is raising its subscription prices for the second time in a little over a year. The monthly price with ads is going up by $1 from $7.99 to $8.99. The standard plan jumping $2 to $19.99 a month, and customers with Netflix Premium also paying $2 more at $26.99. Netflix.
Lord have mercy. I mean, did you see them prices? Did you hear about those prices? Second time in 2 years. Says here, a standard plan with ads. Well, let me actually see if I can put it on the screen here. The standard plan with ads is $8.99. Let's leave that right there for you guys. The standard plan is $8.99. Excuse me, standard plan with ads is now $8.99 a month, up from the $7.99 it previously was. A standard subscription is now $19.99 a month, which went up from their previous one, $17.99. Okay. Adding an extra member to a standard plan will now cost $7.99 a month with ads, or $9.99 a month without ads, up from $6.99, which was previously for that, and $8.99 respectively. The premium plan is now $26.99 a month, which is above from the previous $24.99. Adding two extra members to those premium plans, also the same price, $7.99 and $9.99. Look, Netflix, see, people save money for Netflix because y'all have everything. Okay, y'all literally have everything. You got live sports now. You got the whole archive of pro wrestling. All right, you got the great movies. You got the great comedy specials. You got everything. All right, I'm sick of it. Sometimes I feel like you're just abusing your power. I feel like you guys are abusing your power because people would go broke to keep their Netflix subscriptions. You know that they do. Gosh, going up in these prices. Everything keeps on going up. Up. Tired of these increases, man. It's just not right. Just not right. Y'all better stay and this is the second time in 2 years. So please, can you not do any more increases? Please. Please, just please. Can you not do any more increases? All right, let's digress from this because I didn't want to spend too much on that. I asked you the question earlier in the show. Do you think that late night talk shows are too political? And then I guess an add-on question for that is, um, if they are too political, do they only lean to one political party? Ah, yes, yes. You see how I did that? So I bring this up because actor Vince Vaughn, I'm a huge Vince Vaughn fan. Actor, comedian Vince Vaughn. I never knew Vince Vaughn did stand up, but I mean he does funny movies. Comedic actor. How about that? That's more of a safer title than actor and comedian, because I ain't never seen a Vince Vaughn special a day in my life. But Vince Vaughn had recently sat down with, what's his name? Theo Vaughn. Nah, Theo Vaughn's a comedian. Theo Vaughn on his podcast, very popular podcast, and they got to talking about late night television lost audience after becoming too political. Reasons why the decline in their ratings and viewers and all that stuff. And why folks continue to lean towards podcasters, because they look at podcasters as a little more organic, right? It's a conversation. It's not really an agenda per se. So let me go ahead and show you this clip here, and we'll discuss more on the other side.
Authenticity.
Yeah.
And I think that the talk shows, to a large part, became really agenda based.
Yeah.
They were going to evangelical people to what they thought. You know what I mean? And so people just rejected it because it didn't feel authentic. It felt like they had an agenda. It stopped being funny, and it started feeling like I was in a class I didn't want to take.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
I'm getting scolded. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And so I think that's the phenomenon isn't what they say. They always blame technology, but the reality is it's the approach. And I think people are going to tune into a podcast more so because they want to feel like people are having a real conversation. It's interesting to them. But if you look at what happened to the talk shows and why their ratings are low, it's got only to do with the fact of what you just said, which is they all became the same show.
Yeah.
And they all became so about their politics and who's good and who's bad. And it's like, imagine sitting next to someone like that on a plane.
Oh,
bro, you'd be like, how do I get?
You know what? And I posted this on my on our social media. I don't disagree at all with Vince Vaughn's take on that. Him or Theo. I mean, they're absolutely right. Look, let's be real here. Jimmy Kimmel is extremely political. I mean, I don't recall him being this political ever throughout his years. Stephen Colbert, I mean, it was no shocker seeing it from Stephen Colbert, because Stephen Colbert came from the Daily Show family, and then he had his show that was a political comedy show. So to me, that wasn't too much of a shock, because he's done it in his career for the most part. But they are right. You go from Colbert, Kimmel, right? Now Jimmy Fallon, I don't think it was really ever political. The fact that they keep on adding Jimmy Fallon into the political base, I think that's quite unfair. I mean, Fallon has had every politician on. He's had Trump, he's had the Obamas, he's had Greg Gumfeld not too long ago, which was quite an awkward encounter, but it really was. It was like now Seth Meyers, to my knowledge, got political, but those that really aced late night television, if late night talk shows, Conan O'Brien, Jay Leno, hell, even Craig Ferguson, those guys really knew how to utilize the late night talk show vibe and approach. Come on, we're going to bed, for crying out loud. These shows are on. You come on late at night. Why are you giving us all this more new stuff, really on a non-political channel, because ABC is really not a political channel. Yeah, they got ABC News, but they have it from a certain period. Their morning show is like family friendly morning show. Then you got your local news shows. You got your drama shows, your TV shows. Then you got like, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. And so and look, and I like Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel and all those guys. I think they're extremely talented. But I also think, if I'm looking at on a business side, on a strategy side, on a strategic side, okay, you're only catering to one side of the aisle. You're only catering to one audience. And yes, it's quite regular of you doing it. I mean, we saw at the Oscars when Kimmel was on stage, he made a joke. Oh, he made a joke directed to President Donald Trump. I get it. He hates the guy. There's no if or nothing about it. He disliked the guy. And he makes it well known that he does not like the person because he continues to take jabs on him. But to seeing the increase in podcasters, now he has a point there as well. Folks love podcasting because it's like, hey, look, everybody, it's unfiltered for one, so it is more organic. It's unscripted. Right, you might have a certain format you go based off, but it's, for the most part, it's unscripted. You're not watching like breaking news, yabba dabba 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 doo. Like, you're not watching that. That's why I shared the story about when CNN is trying to change the set from time to time, making it like a podcast set. It's kind of corny. I mean, adding the podcast mic and to Anderson Cooper, untying the tie, make it look like he's, oh man, I've been in the newsroom so much, and I'm sitting down because it's so much news going bang, man. And Jake Tapper doing a show from his office. Like, come on, y'all, come on. Cable television needs to stay with cable television and not try to mimic the theme of podcasters. But I will say, people are going to tune in what they want to tune in because there is political podcasts. There's a lot of political shows that are podcast based. Not all podcasts is, oh, it's going to be organic. It's doing better than late night. I mean, it's just longer form. It's unscripted, like I said. It's a little more unfiltered, and folks truly choose what they want to. It's more freely because there's so many categories too when it comes to podcasts, right? You got comedy podcasts, you got a crime podcast, you have entertainment podcasts, you got music podcasts, there's so many different themes. You got medical podcasts. There's so many categories in podcasts. It's easier to do. But again, my question is to you all: are late night shows too political? Look, I remember hearing Jay Leno actually say, when I was doing late night, I'm not here to cater to one side, because then you leave a whole nother audience when you could be making having a laugh with everybody. At the end of the day, you want everybody to enjoy a late night show. Late night show was really supposed to be the platform to showcase the next best talent in the entertainment space: musicians, stand-up comedians, actors or actresses, right? That's what you get out of late night talk shows. You don't want to hear about politics all the time. Again, leave it on political shows. CNN has their late night shows. Fox News has their late night shows. I mean, they have those for a reason. It stays with their channels, and just keep it moving from there. But I end this segment to say I don't disagree with Vince Vaughn. Vince is definitely a little more on the conservative side. I'm not gonna say he's MAGA. He might be more of a liberal leaning Republican, but he's always been very open and honest with his conversation. Kind of like Adam Sandler. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Adam's a Republican, but more liberal leaning. Okay, hell, he has to tolerate Rob Snyder, for crying out loud. Yeesh. Oh, geez. Let's go ahead and digress from this story here. What do we have next? I mentioned about a Florida Democrat who has been found guilty who's been found guilty of House ethics violations. Let me see if I can. Give me 1 second here. Let's see. Perfect. So I don't know if y'all heard about this here, but Florida Democratic representative, and forgive me if I have kind of complications, um, complications with her name, Sheila Sherfilis McCormick, um, again has been found guilty on a number of House ethics violations. Instantly funneled millions of dollars to her. This reported by Politico, dollars to her campaign, and committed various campaign finance infractions. A bipartisan House ethics subcommittee determined recently, likely laying the groundwork for a vote by the full legislative body to expel the embattled Florida Democrat. The panel's ad judiciary judicatory committee, woo, that's a strong word right there, led by House Ethics Chair Michael Guest, Republican out of Missouri, or is that Mississippi? No, I think it's out of Missouri. Deliberated well past midnight following a House long hearing that served as the panel's first public trial in nearly 16 years. It found clear and convincing evidence that the Florida Democrat was guilty of all but 2 of the 27 counts that had been brought against her. Once again, these are the stories that you hate to hear, because I'm not happy of discussing when elected officials do stuff for personal gain, do the wrong, right? Because it's like, man, you had so many folks that really was hoping that you would do good and that you would win, because see, when you win, that's a win for your district. When you lose, that's an L for your district, and that's an L for the majority. It says here, shortly after the House returns from the April recess, the full committee will hold a hearing to determine what in any sanction would be appropriate for the committee to recommend. Guest in the panel's top Democrat, Mark Deslaulier, Desaulnier, wow, what a what a name, of California, said in a joint statement. Now, Sherfilis McCormick also said, "I look forward to proving my innocence. Until then, my focus remains where it belongs, showing up for the great people of Florida's 20th district, who sent me to Washington to fight for them." The three-term lawmaker, who is also facing related criminal charges in her home state, did not vote in a recent on the floor early that morning when this was taking place. Now, House GOP leadership believes that they have the votes to expel her. Should the panel recommend such a punishment, her removal would require 2/3 of a vote, meaning some Democrats would need to support that effort, as opposed to the simple majority vote required for much of the House business. Before I continue to read this, I'm already thinking of so many things right now, because there's a battle happening with Democrats trying to win the majority of the House. You also have the right losing a lot of special elections and really holding by a really tight margin in the House. Some Democrats will soon have to decide whether to stand with one of their members or accept the findings of the Ethics Committee and support whatever punishment is recommended. It's possible the panel suggests the full House vote to expel the three-term lawmaker, but if members opt for more lenient penalty like a reprimand or a censure, Representative Greg Stube, a Republican out of Florida, says he's prepared to force a vote on expulsion anyway. That joke is, I don't care. I'm ready. Kick out. And of course, again, Republicans want to see, because they're like, oh, finally we get to have a win in our book. Last time the House voted to oust a colleague was the former representative out of New York, Republican George Santos in 2023. Remember that dude that basically lied about everything? Is that even his name? You know what I mean? Like, is that even his name? He was ultimately sentenced to prison for wire fraud and aggravated identity theft, only to have his sentence commuted by, oh, of course, because, you could basically break the law as long as you are a suck up to the person that serves in Washington. You are good. You're free to go. But you have to serve like a 20-year sentence. Yeah, if you're free to go, you're good. I mean, give me a break. In the name of him. That's all. As long as it's in the name of him, you're good. House Democrats were largely silent following the subcommittee's announcement of its guilty verdict. Many said they still needed to read the findings and were otherwise unprepared to weigh in. They were unprepared. They like, oh gosh, what are we gonna do? I knew this was gonna happen. Like, come on now. Another senior member of the House Democrat leadership team, Representative Joe Neguse out of Colorado, said he intends to review the verdict. Then issued in a statement the lack of immediate public outrage from inside the Democratic caucus caught notice of the National Republican Congressional Committee. Their silence is a choice. Democrats can stand for accountability or keep protecting a proven ethics violator. You're a proven ethics violator, but voters won't forget, said the NRCC spokesperson Mike Marinella in a statement recently. Representative, let me tell you something. This story is not working with me with the last names of some of these elected officials. Representative Mary Glusenkamp Perez, Democrat out of Washington State, who recently led a charge to force a vote on the floor to reprimand fellow Democratic Representative Chu Garcia of Illinois for orchestrating his chief of staff's accession to succeed him in retirement, was unequivocal. She says you can't crime your way into legitimate power. The moderate lawmaker wrote on a post on X, since she was found guilty, she should resign or be removed. Respect. Look, 25 violations found guilty out of 27. There should be no hesitation. There shouldn't be hesitation whatsoever. If this was on the other side, they would be on them like white on rice. Another Democrat, Mark Takano of California, he is the top Democrat of the Veterans Affairs Committee, said a bipartisan recommendation from the Ethics Committee would be pretty compelling. Elijah Manley, Shifless McCormick's primary opponent, in a statement said was surprisingly sympathetic and eager for the incumbent to now step aside. At the juncture, the congresswoman was found guilty by a committee of her peers in the House of serious misconduct and must resign from Congress immediately. Manley, who traveled to Washington to sit in front row, let's see here, says the Florida Democrat and her attorney sat before the House Ethics Subcommittee across more than 6.5 hours Friday afternoon and evening, at which point members went into a closed session and deliberated until 2 a.m. Woo! To a person granted anonymity to share details of private process. I mean, it was the first such public hearing or trial for sitting members of the House since 2010, when the late Representative Charlie Rangel, Democrat out of New York, was facing a host of charges. I mean, this stuff, man, continues to just obsess me. Folks are hurting out here. But yet people in Congress, man, they find a way to make sure that they all right. TSA workers are just now, to my knowledge, are going to be receiving their fair pay, which they deserve more, but they'll be receiving their checks. But people in Congress, they continue to keep their checks. So to close this one, I think will be this most likely will be the end of her congressional career, her political career. Most likely she will be getting expelled and removed from Congress, which again will make it harder for Congress. It'll be a win for the right, a L for the left. So it's all, it's not that easy keeping elected official, a Democrat, in the state of Florida, right? But we will see more about this. We will continue hearing more about the story, because I feel like it's not going to be the end of this. But we will see. Let me let's see here. How am I looking? What time? Looking pretty solid here. Well, let's have some fun here. Let's talk about the MyPillow guy. Remember the MyPillow guy? Mike Lindell, the man who I would say just a straight fall from grace, because he became just MAGA's favorite person to. They just said, sorry, Mike, but you're not cool anymore, man. You're kind of, you're cramping our style, and you're not like that guy anymore. Like, he's the guy that keeps on he's a conspiracy theorist. I mean, there we go. Should have stayed focused on just making them good pillows, but instead he went up the rabbit hole as a conspiracy theorist, and it has not helped him since. So recently at CPAC, which is a large conservative event that's always takes place once a year, once or twice a year, I feel like it. And he was in attendance because he also, outside of having his own pillows, he also owns a number of other things, but he started his own channel, his own right-wing conservative channel called, I think, like Lindell TV, I think it's called. So he's trying to be in the media space, and it's just weird. That's all I can say. Just extremely weird. In T ways, while he was getting interviewed, Mike Lindell got served with some papers, some lawsuit papers. I'm like, God dang, he's like, you've been served. I'm like, God dang, why he's getting interviewed? Check this out, y'all.
Country, most of them break a law within the first 3 months. Most of them, we're on TV here, please. We're on TV, please. We're on TV, please. Okay? We're on TV, please. We're on TV, please. Okay, we're on TV, please.
What are you serving him with?
TV, we're on TV.
What are you serving him with?
I'm not accepting.
What are you trying to serve, ma'am?
We're on TV, please.
Yeah.
On TV, please. Okay. Into our country, most.
I mean, just that joke keeps on getting L's every day. So let me read you this. This is reported by thehill.com. CEO of MyPillow appeared to be served with legal documents during a live TV interview at the Conservative Political Action Conference. In the video, obviously, the one that I just shared with you, a woman is seen approaching the businessman while he is on air and attempting to hand him documents while saying, "You've been served." And what's funny, here's the funny thing. He keeps on saying, we're live on TV, but we're live on TV. He's saying we're live on TV. So you would think the guy interviewing him will be respectful and be like, no, we don't. He's saying, wait, what are you serving him with? What are you serving? Like he put on his reporting hat on. He's like, wait, I want to get the paper. That Michael Dell, like, no, you won't see the paper. I ain't accept nothing. And then Mike snatches the paper and tosses it. And it's fun. It's pretty funny. If you look closer, when he threw the papers out, there's a person in the background that like, who threw that? And looked around like it was priceless. Let's see here. The service of process is the official way to notify a person that they are being sued and requires a response from the defendant in the case. It is unclear whether these were real legal documents. The Hill reached out to Lindell TV, the businessman's network, but I guess they have not heard anything. Lindell was a participant at the CPAC's annual meeting of conservative leaders and voters in Grapevine, Texas. The businessman is named in a long list of staunch Republican speakers at the 3-day conference and is expected, was one of them amongst one of the, can't get my words out, man, was one of the speakers, conservative speakers at this event that included, him, Texas Governor Greg Abbott, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. Lindell is a staunch conservative and proponent of the Trump administration's policies. He is a repeated President Trump's false claims of widespread election fraud in the 2020 presidential election, resulting in several lawsuits against his company, which pretty much made him almost bankrupt. The federal judge in Minnesota ruled, excuse me, in September that Lindell defamed an election technology company with his false claims of voter fraud. A federal appeals court ruled in Lindell's favor, in a separate case involving his claim that China interfered in the 2020 election results. The MyPillow CEO announced he was running for governor of Minnesota last December to replace Democratic Governor Tim Walz, who has since announced his retirement and endorsed Senator Amy Klobuchar as to be the next governor of Minnesota. Recently on X, Lindell defended himself from these past legal attacks. He says he shared, "They surrounded my car and took my phone. They came the subpoenas, the banking, and attacks on MyPillow. We lost 90% of our business. I'm not backing down because if we lose our elections, we lose our country." Yep, that sounds about what he's been saying for a long time. Poor guy. Oh, he was here. He was here making some pillows, and then he got involved. He got involved with the wrong crowd. He got involved with the MAGA crowd, and now he's in it. He can't leave it. He is in it. He out here getting served the papers. He's out here getting served the papers. All right, y'all, we're going to close up the show with this here. I'm asking you, would you reject $26 million? Would you reject $26 million? $26 million. Well, guess what? I'll be honest, I would not, but I know somebody who who? And it's this young lady right here.
My way, I'll stay and hold and feed a nation. 26 million doesn't mean anything.
Some people might find it hard to understand how Delcia Bear can turn away a $26 million offer to buy some of her land until you spend a little time with her walking the dirt road she grew up on and in the house her daddy built.
My grandfather and great-grandfather and a whole bunch of family has all lived here for years, paid taxes on it, fed a nation off of it, even raised wheat through the Depression and kept bread lines up in the United States of America when people didn't have anything else.
Delcia is one of dozens of landowners approached by an anonymous buyer, one of the major players in artificial intelligence, likely Google or Meta or Amazon, to purchase their land. The market value for land in Mason County is about $6,000 an acre. The realtor that came to her door last April offered her and her mother about 10 times that.
They call us old stupid farmers, but we're not. We know whenever our food is disappearing, our lands are disappearing, and we don't have any water and poison, we know we've had it.
Delcia's mom, Ida Huddleston, is now 82 years old. She says she does not need the money or the hassle. She was born on this land and she plans to die here. And she certainly does not trust the promises made by the AI companies or the people who want them to build here. So what do you say to the people who are in town that say, hey, this is going to bring jobs, this is going to bring economic prosperity?
I say they're a liar and the truth ain't in them, is what I say. It's a scam.
For Delcia, scam or not, she says she's connected to her home like Scarlett O'Hara was in Gone with the Wind.
As long as she was attached to that land, her spirit never would die. And that's the exact same thing for me right here. As long as I'm on this land, as long as it's feeding me, as long as it's taking care of me, there's nothing that can destroy me if I've got this land. If it's my way, I'll stay and hold.
Well, I will tell you something. I have a different approach. Okay, I have a different approach. If it's 100% not a scam, how much you said? 26 million? Not even all her land. They said to buy some of her land. To buy some of her land. $26 million? Please, no data center sign, man. I will rip up my no data center. Bring on a data center. Come on. I will help. I will make room for you. Okay. I will give you give you the guest room. Look, we're gonna be friends. We're gonna be close friends. $26 million. $26 million. Sometimes you could still cherish those historical moments, but I can also enjoy it better when I got $26 million. Okay, $26 million. I mean, y'all probably saying, well, look, it's more to it than that. That's land that she was raised on. Is more history on that land. You can't just sell it to the highest bidder. Yes, the hell I can. Yes, the hell I can. Look, there's plenty of landowners around where I live here in Chesapeake that have those no data center signs, and look, they will continue to fight for keeping their land and all this great stuff. I have family that has land out in North Carolina, and best believe. Okay, best believe. I talk with the family, be like, gotta think about this. Let's not be too stubborn here, y'all. But anyways, look, my time is up, my friends. I hope y'all enjoyed the convo. Thank you for sticking with us. Please continue to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show, available on all digital streaming platforms. Look, I'll talk to y'all soon for another great convo. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.